G'day, mate. 40 here. Got pretty shocking news for you. I was just listening to Ezra Klein of the New York Times, and he said something that just blew my mind. He says that inevitably DOGE is going to make some mistakes, and there will be important government services that will be damaged by all these DOGE cutbacks. And I thought, oh my God, he's right. Inevitably, DOGE will make a mistake or two, and then, my God, there will be important government services that are damaged. And I think we just got to call the whole thing off. That if it's possible that DOGE makes a mistake, if it's possible that there's a government service, a single government service out there that is damaged by DOGE, then we have to cancel the whole thing. I mean, if some government bureaucrats can process the DOGE cutback, then make it catastrophic for the public, like inconvenience the public. It's like as soon as there's a minor cutback, then we've got to close Yosemite and our national parks, right? Then we've got to call the whole thing off. No, that's ridiculous. That is childish reasoning. Of course, DOGE will make mistakes, and of course, there will be some government services that are negatively affected. That's not the question. The question is, will the DOGE cutbacks overall do more good than harm? And it's possible that they'll do more harm than good, right? I've got an open mind. I'm going to listen to the expertise. So, while I am on the side of DOGE, and my enthusiasm for DOGE is at about a 70 to 30 level, right? So I'm about twice as positive as negative on DOGE, but I recognize they're making a lot of mistakes and they're doing a lot of things clumsily. And I do not like the attitude of hostility towards government workers and disrespect, right? Government workers deserve respect, and the functions of government are often important, and it's not inherent that if government does it, it's going to suck. But the overall question is, will DOGE do more good than harm? Are we better off trimming approximately $60 billion from federal government spending right now? Is that overall a good thing? So we have about 100,000 or so government workers who've been laid off from DOGE, right? Were they performing absolutely essential government services? Can many of their jobs be automated? Can much of their work be replaced by AI? Right, that's the open question. Let's find out, right? How many Steves are here? What's my body count? Body count in how many masectas, how many volumes of Talmud have I studied? Is that what you're referring to? I've been through the whole thing, bro. It's about 7,000 pages, mainly in Aramaic. So the question with DOGE and the question with everything is, does it do more good than harm? Right? You start a new workout routine, it's very possible that you'll injure yourself. It's even possible you'll get a heart attack. It's possible you'll do irreparable damage to yourself, right? You take up yoga, right? You could crack some ribs. You could stretch some tendons that could never be unstretched, right? You can wreck your life by working out in an extreme fashion, or depending on how perilous your health situation is, all right, you could do irreparable damage to yourself. But overall, most people are going to improve their lives by working out. And I suspect that the government efficiency will be improved by some layoffs and cutbacks. That, from my experience in the workplace, work normally expands to the number of hours that are allotted to it. In general, workers want to do as little work as possible while getting paid as much money as possible, while having as good a time as possible talking to their friends, going online, ordering their groceries, discussing their sexual fantasies on government service, like we've had over 100 CIA employees being fired for discussing their explicit sexual fantasies on a government server. Right? I'm fine with all those people being fired. It's possible that they've got important institutional knowledge that we need to protect and preserve. But I suspect not so much. So there's a little sense of balance and proportion in Ezra Klein's comment. Yeah, inevitably you try anything new, there will be mistakes made and there will be some disadvantages, right? If you shift from spending your time from watching TV to meditation, it's possible you could have a psychotic break, right? Too much meditation is bad for some people. Right, not everyone is suited for meditation, but other people will benefit from, say, dialing down the TV watching and dialing out the prayer and the meditation. I remember when blogging evolved, the main critique of the mainstream media was, is it journalism? Is blogging really journalism? But that's not the most important question. Right, I had a lot of news articles written about me. Was I employing the protocols of standard journalism? But you don't judge blogging primarily by whether or not it's a journalism. You judge the worth of blogging primarily by whether it is doing more good than harm. And journalism is not the only way to communicate. Right? You can use a shock jock talk radio style. You can use an informal first-person essay style for your blog posts. There are many different ways to blog, and just because you don't follow standard journalistic protocol doesn't mean ipso facto that your blog sucks. Right? There's misinformation, disinformation on social media. My God, did you know that there's inaccurate information on the platform X? Oh, that's terrible. That's the worst. Whatever are we going to do? Watching from a police station, so take a breather. Don't do what he's saying. You should try calisthenics. Why do you want to meditate? But I'm not really into meditation. I will do up to 30 minutes a day. It's a way of kind of detaching from any repetitive thoughts, getting into a more peaceful place. So I'll meditate anywhere from 0 to 30 minutes a day. But I know people who love to meditate for hours a day, but they're not meeting their adult responsibilities. So the worth of meditation does not depend on it having no downsides. There are some downsides to meditation. Some people should not meditate. Some people will have the equivalent of a psychotic break. Right? Some people will go nuts from meditation. Right? Some people will travel into rooms in their mind that they should not enter. Right? Sometimes it's best to keep certain doors locked in your mind. But this focus on, is there any possible downside? I remember all these people, all these rabbis would pressure me because of my blogging that, you don't have an editor and you don't have the layers of fact-checking that the New York Times and the LA Times has. And that makes you very likely to be irresponsible and a danger. You're spreading misinformation. But there is a primary criteria I'd like to think for my vlogging and blogging. And that's value, right? Does it provide value? Does it provide more value than detriment? And so too with DOGE and any other type of government service cutback, right? Are we getting bang for the buck? You could go out and spend $100 right now on something and it would provide some improvement for your life. But the primary criteria for whether or not you should spend that $100 is, are you getting good bang for your buck, or would you be better served by spending those $100 elsewhere? So I am a man of the right. I recognize that most government bureaucrats are on the left, government unions in particular are on the left. They're mainstays of Democratic Party support. So why would I just blindly want to support that? There aren't many government programs favoring Republicans. Right? Republican causes don't get a lot of government grants. And so overwhelmingly when there's some kind of government grant, it's to some left-wing cause that does not follow with my values. So why would I want that? Why would I want to be subsidizing my enemy? And Elon Musk is the world's richest man. He probably knows some things. And I like what he's doing with DOGE. And I recognize they're going to make mistakes. And they're going to need to rehire some people that they fired. And that's awkward. But you can't have a revolution without some chaos. And the question is not whether or not there will be chaos from the DOGE revolution. The question is, will there be value? Will there be merit? Will government services overall be improved? Will there be more efficiency? Will our dollars be used in a more economical manner? Right? Will America be better off from trimming waste, fraud, and abuse from the government system, subjecting it to more scrutiny, bringing all of these 50-odd independent agencies like the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, bringing them under the control of the President of the United States? So there needs to be a sense of proportion. Proportion is what seems to often be missing from the news. Right? What's important is usually not in the news. What's in the news is usually not important. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.